In my opinion, this is the battle for the ages. It's not between the A7S III and the Canon R5. The people should be looking, oh, what's the best? The R5 has a ticking time bomb in it, designed by NASA to kill us all. It's not even a viable option. If you want to take some photographs of your cat, okay, maybe. But when it comes to video, XT4, A7S III, which one's better? This is the battle, my friend.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So can you tell looking just off the bat which is which? The Fuji and the Sony? Is it obvious? Like, oh yeah, superior. Because the Sony is more than double the price of the Fuji. Let's keep this in mind here. If you think the Fuji performs well today versus the Sony, I just pointed. Oh, I ruined everything. God damn it, I gave it away. Just keep it in mind, the Fuji is much cheaper. So we got the Fuji XT4 on your right with the Viltrox 33mm 21.4. It's a third-party lens. Like, it's not even a Fuji lens here. Looks pretty good. It's my favorite lens for the system now. Oh my God. Oh, what's happening? Oh God. Why did you do that, Fuji? I have auto ISO for both. I just aperture priority for both, so take me out of the equation. I don't know how to expose, and I'm not willing to learn. Sony with the Zeiss 55mm 21.8. Just drink it in. So we're in S-Log 3 on the Sony, F-Log on the Fuji, 4K 24p. We're in all intra this time, 400 megabits per second. I better hurry up. That card's gonna fill up. We'll go outside and do a vlog test with the kit lenses and also the 20mm versus the Rokinon. Similar focal length, equivalence battle of the century. I'm very curious to see who performs better outside. I had a feeling Fuji would have the superior IBIS because it's pretty good. It's not bad, and it's APS-C, so it's easier to stabilize, but the Sony has impressed me so far. With that digital crop, it's still more than a APS-C. But my God, it's pretty good, it's usable. With a non-stabilized lens, I think the kit lens is gonna blow us away. It's gonna blow. I will also test Eterna versus standard, because right now we're in S-Log. I have the Fuji Eterna LUT on the Sony. If I can find a Sony LUT, I'll do that. And is it worse or better? But I find you get Fuji colors on a Sony camera. It's the ultimate life hack. It's not even fair to the competition. Canon's crying in a corner. In my honest opinion, if you're just doing this video at home, go with the Fuji and save yourself so much money. You don't need like all this epic autofocus. You're sitting in a living room. Where are you gonna go? Is it losing me? See it? Oh, you piece of shit. Sony has me. Why? Why? Really? God damn it. Oh, why do I immediately debunk myself? I said go with the Fuji. Why'd you make me do that? To be fair, I don't think Fuji has the phase detect pixels out here, so it should lose me. Well, now, yeah, see? It's not fair. Stay in your box, and you'll be cool. I think the Sony might be a little overkill for your YouTube scrub life, but if you want to be the best hobo you can be, you do it. You do it on a Sony, and you never look back. I'm not seeing any clipping in those zebras. That's beautiful. Whereas Fuji has decided to clip those windows. I think dynamic range already wins on the Sony. That's unfortunate. I thought it would stand a chance. Let's go outside. Let's test this stuff in the real world, the Matrix. Alrighty. Facing the sunshine, letting it light up our life. Just doing a casual street test here. We're both on the kit lenses. Can you tell the difference? Fuji was on your right, same as before in the studio. I gotta tell you, the weight's not that much different. I weighed this whole rig, tripod and everything, 1274 for the Sony, 1199 for the Fuji. So you're not saving a ton of weight, but it's somewhat noticeable. Now right now, neither have their digital stave on. Sony's not digital. They get around it somehow. It's cropped, but not digital. So neither have that advantage. And I thought maybe even the Sony A7 III could be used with this kit lens because it's stabilized. So it's a dual stave potential. Was I right? Is it stable enough, even without the active stabe? We'll test it soon with digital versus active. But who's winning in life? Sony has some weird quirks. I finally figured out how to save to the custom modes, but once you're in it, for some reason I can't change exposure modes. I was locked into manual and I wanted to change to aperture priority and I couldn't, and I had to redo the whole settings. It's a bunch of bullshit. User error, most likely. Most likely hard. But who's winning at life? When you do this in your vlog, which you should. We'll test the slow-mo, autofocus. What I really want to see is the digital stabe. How effective is it with a stabilized lens? I'm scared, so let's switch to it. All right, digital stabe on the Fuji, active stabe on the Sony. I gotta say, I got that red ring around the screen to let me know I'm recording. It's not very easy to see. I prefer the tally light of the Fuji. Never lets you down. So we've all seen this stabilization. I find Fuji with the kit lens, dual stabe, IBIS plus lens plus digital, it's quite smooth. It still has some jerky moments. There's no getting around it. There just isn't. Why am I so dark? Am I even on auto ISO? All right, we should be good. I don't know what happened. I was in auto for both dials. That makes no sense. What the hell happened there, Sony? It looked a little jerky. So now Sony with its dual stabe plus active. How's that? How's that happening? I feel those steps transferring through the camera like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with tiny T-Rex arms. It's not very wide, and it's a little heavier than I thought it would be. I thought this was one of the lighter lenses. It's not very light. It's not. I thought for sure Fuji would win this battle, but now I'm not so sure after testing the Sony. Who won the exposure darkness compensation method there? I do notice it, the dynamic range, it's even better on the Sony. The autofocus is so much better. The stabilization's just as good. It's barely weighing anything more. It does a 4K 120p. There's too many things in its favor. It's an alien machine. And you know what sickens me about the Sony? I tried a little 4K 120p last night just to see if I could play it. Zero problems. I have less trouble editing that than I do these files. The Canon R5, people can't even use it. And this thing's like 4K 120p, no problem, plays smooth. Hey! Nice colors, man, looks good. Could you see any of that, or was it tone? If I had just one camera, I could have zoomed in on it for you. And if I had the deity mic, we could have both been interviewed by each other in bed. Wow. Now, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna cross a street in slow motion with two cameras, but it's gonna be done. 240p for both, and then we'll compare 120p 4K versus 120p 8K. Fuji has that now in the firmware, way to go. So who won the slow-mo battle? What I've noticed is Fuji will lose me sometimes. As soon as I turn my head, that's Fuji's Achilles heel. They don't have the head detect, where Sony does. So no matter what, even if Fuji did look better, I'm probably out of focus as soon as I turn my head. And how do you not look both ways? I learned it in kindergarten. I can't erase that. So right now, we're on standard for the Sony, Eterna for the Fuji. Just looking at the screens, I'm orange. I'm orange on the Sony. That don't look right. Fuji has those skin tones. That's magic. I don't know what Sony's going for here. Martian race? Superior? Are they? Are they? I noticed on the Sony ZV-1 the standard profile looked pretty darn good. I'm not sure we're seeing the same thing here. Are we seeing beauty? This is the worst time of day. Every single video I come out, there's high noon, sun right up there, looking right at me. Whereas the Fuji just loves you no matter what. Unless you turn away, you ignore her. Did it do it? Sony would never do it. You can rely on this so hard, you can't even make it lose you. You could try your best. Never. Never gonna happen. Okay, we have switched lenses. We got the Rokinon 12mm Tony 2 on the Fuji. We got the 20mm Tony 1.8 on the Sony. I've switched to Fuji audio now for some reason. We've been listening to the lav mic into the Sony this whole time. Now the only disadvantage here, it's a manual focus lens, so we can't do this fun stuff. Wow, the Tony. What's on me? So both have their digital stave on and we're both back in their log format. S-Log3 over here. I just want to do a little walk up and down stabilization test. It's necessary for the people. Versus the Sony. Is it more beautiful? Is the increase in tone more pleasing to you? And is the exposure better? Was I faced the other way on that one? Oh God, the sun, I never do things equal. I suck at this. But in my opinion, these are the vlogging lenses for the system, both of them. These are the best, I think. From what I've tested on the Fuji for sure, but I have some coming. Fuji Canada reached out to me and they want to work with me, so I asked them for a couple lenses. They're like, yep, we got all those, we'll send them to you. So got a bunch of cool ones on the way. We'll test those out. How you doing, Sony? Are you well? Who's exposing better? Okay, I want to do a little dynamic range test, see if the Sony really is superior. It probably is, but let's see if the sky is blown out on somebody. Okay, when do we see zebras come in on the Fuji? Already. 4,000, we got zebras. How about you? Why do I go the wrong way on each? 4,000, no zebras. That's a problem. 3,200. I see slight patterns of zebrahood. Just one zebra. Not even enough to call it. There's some zebras. I would say equal zebra levels now. They're both set at 95%, but 2,000 shutter over here, 4,000 over here. Oh boy. I do believe Sony wins the dynamic range test. So much better than the Canon EOS R was. It was just pure white. Whenever I matched my face exposure, pure whiteness on the Canon, although I'm not sure that's what we were supposed to do. And I don't know if these don't look matched at all now. Sony, I'm way brighter on the face. So everything we've tested here today, I would say Sony has better autofocus. Fuji might still have the better color science, but if you know what you're doing, you could just make the Sony look better. So is it really a win? For those lazy or those who don't know what they're doing, like me, it's better to just have it look good. Just one little eternal LUT and you're done. But you can drop the eternal LUT on Sony, so that hurts. Dynamic range we're witnessing right now, Sony is better. That hurts. IBIS, I don't know yet, but you saw it today. Did Sony finally do it? I think they did. It's pretty good. It looks natural. There are some jerks, but every single camera I've ever tested, except Olympus maybe, with their digital stave, has a little jerk to it. That's not what we're going for, just being on a boat. Like, footage has some jerk. Sometimes I get comments and they're like, oh my God, it's so jerky today. And it wasn't, like, at all. It was fine. It's like, what are they they're staring at the corners. Right there. Is that why you watch videos, to look at this? A blurry tree? Like, get a life. When it comes to auto exposure, I feel like Sony's a little smoother and smarter. Fuji's good. In the studio, it freaked out a bit. But out here, usually, I'm pretty well exposed in the face. It's smooth now, it doesn't step. Both are good. Sony just has more to work with. It's like, oh, I have all this dynamic range, it doesn't matter what I do. When it comes to lens lineup, in my opinion, Fuji has some amazing looking lenses. They're small and light. Those f2 primes, they're decent, but they don't autofocus very well. I think they have maybe 3 lenses that can do it now. They're not the best. Whereas Sony, it feels like they knew they could autofocus right from the beginning, and they were doing movie in every single lens they've ever made, almost. Maybe that Sony 50mm 1.8 is bad, but most of them have these linear motors, like they're designed for perfect autofocus. It's unbelievable autofocus. And they have so many more options. Like, this was a great lens, but it's a third-party Samyang manual focus. I like the results. But man, Sony has all the native glass, pretty much every focal length, and then you got your Tamron and Sigma glass, and they got so many more options, but they are heavier. So you gotta weigh that. Not much, at least 100 grams though. If you don't have it in you, run. It's unfortunate Fuji's like 1.4 primes can't really autofocus in video. I will test them. I did ask for that 1.2, 56mm, so we'll see how that does, but if it can't, that hurts. I don't mind the Viltrox though, it works. I think I'm gonna try to get some slow motion B-roll with the Sony, maybe 4K 120p squirrel action to end the video, but that's pretty much it. What are your thoughts? Who won today? I tell you, the Fuji's much, much cheaper, a little smaller. It looks kind of cooler. It looks a little cooler, I like it. Screen looks a little bigger. Sony's got a weird like 4x3 screen. That don't make sense, but let me know. They're both very capable cameras, except right now we're in manual focus. We can't move. That hurts. Still, let me know what you want to see and who won. And thanks for buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you on the next one.